We're putting in a pool or something like that. Okay, you guys, so we have been gifted a Funsicle 14 feet pool, and we're gonna put it in our backyard. Now, the reason why you see this here like this is the tarp, and that is the pool itself. We had already had it set out and stationed. However, at first eye view, we did not realize the ground was sloped. We know our backyard is sloped, but we didn't realize in this section here that it was a drastic difference in height from here to over there. And we learned that when we were filling up the pool and all the water was leaning to this backside. There was a drastic storm that happened the other day. And so this tree fell. Oh my goodness. Craziness. Crazy. Look all back here. Trees fell, like just so much. It was like high wind speeds yesterday. But so now what we have to do is, Honey is over there in the shed right now. He's grabbing some shovels because we are going to have to dig it down a bit, about maybe 2 to 3 inches. Not sure. But we're going to find the level part on the ground, and then we're going to base it off of that. So he's doing a perimeter around the pool a bit to figure out exactly where we need to dig to start leveling it. Now we're about to start. blew up the sides. We're just gonna have to clean the crap out of it. It is not looking ticey now, but watch the transformation. But we have the water going. And we just like kind of straightened out the spaces. Right now it looks like a disgusting pond because you saw we left it out here during the storm. Doesn't matter. The transformations was gonna go crazy. It's on the late night. The hubby cleaned the pool. I'm gonna come back out during the day to kind of walk through it. It's the morning time. There's Ducky. Hey, Ducky. Okay, so I have been in here for about maybe 30 minutes now, 45 minutes, just cleaning the bottom of the pool. It was much worse. much worse. Well, I'm exaggerating. It was pretty bad. There was like a lot of debris at the base that we couldn't see last night. So I just been in here, clean the bottom of the pool with the skimmer. Let me show you how I have been doing that and how you do not have to necessarily invest into the little leaf vacuumer. You can, but you do not have to. It probably will make the job a lot easier. But that's what I've been doing. So you can see the debris that's at the top that you skim, right? Very easy. Just kind of, you know, and then toss it out. But this is what I've been doing for the base. So I've just been disrupting the base, going back and forth. Naturally, gravity, physics, the stuff at the base is going to float up. Now I'll just keep doing this in that area. I'll just keep doing this in that area. Like as I'm disrupting it, I'll come right back over it to the lift. And then, boom. So that's what I've been doing for a bit. Like I said, it was a lot more debris at the bottom, but I've literally done a big circle. I'm getting over into this area, so you can see there's a lot more debris over here and here, but I pretty much did over here. I'm gonna do one more circle around, but there was a lot more debris at the base. Like it was a whole big thing of like sand and dirt right there. But just disrupt it, just kind of go in this like kind of pattern a bit in that area, and everything that was at the base is going to start to float up, and you're just going to put it in. So I'm going to go ahead and finish up doing this, but I'm also going to explain to you this guy here, Mr. Ducky. He's so cool. Look how cool he is. I was determined to get one that looks cooler than the little blue typical bobber. And then I'll also explain the filter over there. I also have to spray over there to get rid of all of that unnecessary dirt and let that dry. I'm gonna go ahead and finish up this part and then just kind of explain a little bit more of the setup. Okay, so I skimmed it as best as I possibly can. There's still a little bit debris at the base, but it's not a lot. Like I store a lot. So yes, let's kind of talk through the stuff that's in there really quickly. This here, I need to actually clean this off. Honestly, I feel like I should do that now. But real quick, this here, this little chlorine floater, there's a single tab of chlorine inside of it, and on the sides of it you can adjust the holes. I should have did this while I was in the pool. Now I gotta step around and try to get Mr. Cool Guy Ducky here. Come here, Mr. Cool Guy. Okay, so on the sides of it, like right there, if you turn it, it will have more holes, and depending on the amount of holes on both sides, will determine how much chlorine is being released into the pool. Mr. Ducky, fix yourself. Oh God. Oh, I'll fix him. So that's that. Oh, he'll fix himself. Lovely. Okay. This here, the filter, connects to the pool. And this hole here, it's pulling out, and it is skimming the water. And then here as well, it's pulling outwards. That little pull there is pushing the water back in. So it's pretty much like going through here, pushing through there, and then the water releases back out there. So these two are pumping out or pulling out, and that one's pumping it back in. But they go through here. Now, we just turned it on, and I think we had the pressure too high, and I think these were screwed on incorrectly. To show you what I mean, there is a little clamp here, and then the screw goes here to clamp it together. So the holes in this part are separate. This screw here connects the two, or keeps them attached. And then same way with the screw here, and filter through, and filter through. We had just turned it on, and because we had it screwed on incorrectly, the water hole was detached and water was coming out. So we have to figure that part out. As far as, I think we put it on 10, and I think it was just pulling way too much. The pressure was too much, and it wasn't screwed on properly, so that happened, but we're gonna figure that out. Set the skimmer. But yeah, there really much else there isn't to it. I think the hardest part for this whole thing, honestly, look at the bees trying to get a fill. They're trying to enjoy the water too. That's crazy. That is crazy. I feel like, do we have enough? Do we have enough? I think they're drinking water. I don't know if they're gonna, is that good for them? There's like chlorine and shock and stuff in there. I don't know. Look, I guess animals, bugs need their hydration too. So I think the most challenging part of this, honestly, was the setup part. I mean, if I'm gonna be completely honest with you guys, it was the setup part. Because making sure your ground, if you're doing this on grass, which is usually the recommended form of base, you should do it on, because the bottom of it, like, let's be real, this is just no more than a tarp. I feel like a thick tarp, out of a pool lining, like a better terms. And it's not that thick. It's thick enough to maintain the pressure of the water, but it's not that thick, right? And so if you put it on a grainy surface, like a non-flat concrete kind of grainy surface or stone or whatever, as you're playing in it and you're shifting it, all it's going to do is tear through the base. So putting it on grass is like your best choice, because the grass, it's not going to it's not, what is it? What's the word I'm thinking of? It's not rough enough to actually do damage to the base. But on top, we also put this on top of the tarp as well, to better give like a smoother surface, if that makes sense. Now, the thing is, doing it on the grass, if you do not have a level yard like we do not, the danger is that, or the risk that you're facing is that when you put the water in the pool, which is actually what happened to us, when you put the water in the pool, that's when you kind of start to see the levelness of it or not. Sometimes it's evident to the eye when you put it out, but sometimes it's not. And so we had to actually redo this, and the start of this video was us actually redoing that, which is why you saw the pool already out. You saw a little bit of water in the pool, because we attempted it, and then we later realized the ground was level, so we had to start over and level this side of the ground. But the kids will be home soon to actually get in and enjoy it. I feel like I cleaned it enough at the bottom. It's a huge difference. I was in there, you saw I was in there cleaning it out, and it feels amazing. It's like 90, like probably mid 80s right now. And so the pool feels nice and warm. It feels like a heated pool, I'm not gonna lie to you. It doesn't feel freezing cold, it feels good. I'm trying to be like him. So these bees are crazy. There's not much else for me to show you guys except a little hack that I learned online that I'm going to try. He's getting extremely close. That I'm going to try, which is spraying around the pool with lavender oil and peppermint oil, because apparently mosquitoes don't like that. So I was planning on spraying around the rim of the pool in addition to the grass that's surrounding the pool, so that when the sun kind of starts to set a little bit, the mosquitoes are not coming out here tearing the family up, as they've already done. So I'm going to try that. I'm going to tell you guys if it's successful or not. Likely in the comments, or likely in the description section below, I'll let you guys know if it's successful or not, if I don't get the chance to get back out here and kind of film that, or record that rather. But nonetheless, thus far, I'm happy with it. We're going to see if it stands the test of time, because we're going to have this up for about 2 months. Rest of the month of August into September, pretty much until it starts to get cold, or until the kids no longer have interest in this anymore, which I find that very hard to believe, is when we're going to take it up. But I'm going to just do a quick little walk around so you can kind of see how the pool expands itself. This is an oval shaped pool. What you will also notice is that we didn't realize exactly which part was the longest part. And so we ended up doing it, you know, kind of like at a 90-degree off angle of it, to where the longest part is there when it should have been here, essentially, because we was going based off of where the filter was going to be. But just a quick walk around. So I'm going to clean this up, this muddy part up a little bit. But that's kind of like that walk around. And the drainage part of the pool, actually just passed it. I was just over there. The drainage part is under here. And I don't want to tamper with it too much, but there's a little, actually, here you go. You'll see it. That's what it looks like. And that's a quick drain. That's to drain the entire pool. And you just kind of screw it off, and then the pressure of the pool brings all the water to that side. So here we have it. I wish I was able to show you a more in-depth kind of setup, but there really isn't much to it. I can explain it to the best of my ability, but essentially when you lay the pool out, your goal is to try to spread it out as much as possible to essentially get rid of the wrinkles in the base. But honestly, I think it's next to impossible to do that unless you have a full circular pool, or maybe a square pool maybe, but it is quite challenging to keep it from looking a little ruffled at the bottom. But honestly, it's perfectly fine. It doesn't take away from the structure of the pool or the size of the pool either. It just doesn't look as flattering, and then it also make it a little bit more difficult to clean it if you're doing the vacuum cleaner. However, again, like you said, we're going to have this up for 2 months, so it's not a biggie. Also, another thing for this pool, because it's the inflatable side pool and not the pole one, I think it also creates a level of difficulty trying to keep it as flat and straight as possible in the base, because really you're really at the disposure of if this inflatable part, or if the water in the inflatable part does what it's supposed to do based on how it's manufactured. But I've done enough chatting, and yes, it does smell like chlorine. It smells delightful. It smells like a pool I love. But look, can we count how many bees we have seen come in and drink some water? Like, that's crazy. That's so crazy. I kind of wonder where they get their source of water if there was not a huge pool in the back. All right, so we're gonna come back when the kids are in, and we're gonna get their review on it. Maybe. We'll see. Okay, I have to throw this in there real quick. Yes, I'm in the main floor guest bathroom, but these are the chlorine tabs we use. We got it from Walmart. They was no more than, I think, $5.60 something. These here, we put them inside of the chlorine floater, which was Mr. Cool Ducky. And we got, I think we got like 5 of them. One of them is in there now because we change it out every week based on what the package says. This is what we use to shock the pool. We use the chlorinating liquid. We use this to shock the pool. And then we put this in there to maintain. So this here, as it says, kills algae bacteria. So pretty much when your pool starts turning green from algae bacteria, essentially this is what you would use. But we use this in the case because we were using, of course, regular water. And so we use this to bring up the pH within the water, to pretty much help sanitize and disinfect the water, and then use this to pretty much regulate it throughout the course of the week. But I wanted to throw this in there because I think it's essential pool stuff for you to know. Oh, by the way, this was from Walmart. This was on sale for $5.97, and initially was gonna get the Clorox one, but there was a lady there that actually has a legitimate pool, and she said she uses this for her pool and it does wonders for a fraction of the price. So we grabbed this. We have nothing to compare it to because we just have a little floaty pool, and we wasn't experiencing like a heavy amount of algae or bacteria in it because it was, relatively new. We just had debris in it. So I can't say I can't like swear by this product, but I can say she swore by it, and she's had her pools for years. She has an actual in-ground pool. I forgot how big she said it was much larger than what we have out there. So yes, but these are the two products that we currently have in the pool to maintain the bacterial level and all that stuff. Okay, so the girls are enjoying the pool. I just did like more skimming of the pool. They're out here enjoying this. I got this little bucket to put like their little toy, like pool toys and stuff in. But they are enjoying the pool. I was just in there like skimming it some more. But it's like super clean now. I was in there just like skimming it while they were in there playing.
Yes, 3, 2, 1.
But they are having a blast. So let's talk about what I sprayed around the pool. So I got this little spray bottle from Home Depot. And I filled it up with water about halfway. And then I poured I think it was a 0.5 ounce, half of that into here. Made it pretty concentrated, but not overly concentrated. And then I sprayed around the pool perimeter. So I sprayed actually the floor. Let's walk over to the actual pool. So I sprayed the actual, this part of the pool. I sprayed that part of the pool, and then I sprayed the grass around the pool as well. Thus far, we haven't really seen a lot of mosquitoes. But what I will say is also not super late in the day, so they usually come out later on at night. Please ignore that table. We've been blasting and having some fun. But I think thus far, it has been working. So that's my recommendation. Okay, so wrapping up the video on this Funsicle 14-inch pool. We love it. It's doing the job. It gets the job done. We love it. Now, talking about this here, this is just a dub. It's just not going to work. So, it is what it is. We did what we could. We're just going to use the skimmer. But it's nice and clean. If you can see, face is clean. The kids have their pool toys in there. This here was a success. The peppermint water, it was a success. I sprayed out here every 2 hours. And we haven't seen no mosquitoes. So that was a success. But if your question is if you should invest into this for the summer, absolutely. Gets the job done. How many gallons of water in here? It says it holds 3,000 gallons. We filled it up. So I'm assuming 3,000 gallons of water is in here. And we set Mr. Ducky for 2,500 because the next one up was 4,000 and we didn't want to put too much chlorine in the pool. What else would you want to know? These are dollar store toys, right from the dollar store. So, and it's doing its job. Everyone loves it. So yeah, that's it. That is it. That wraps up this pool. See you next week.